a woman entrepreneur struggling to receive money, or do you feel guilty for charging people? Let me know in the chat if that is you. If you have ever felt guilty charging people. And today we're going to talk about how to attract money by giving and receiving freely in order to unlock abundance, the money mindset shift that we need to do as women entrepreneurs. Let me know that you can hear me there. Let me know that you can hear me, and let me know where you're tuning in from today. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Thank you so much for joining our Worthy and Wealthy Women's Wednesday show. My name is Evie Diaz, and I am happy to say and very, very honored to be your host today for our Worthy and Wealthy Women's Wednesday show. So please, like I said, let me know where you're tuning in. If you're watching the replay, please let us know where you're tuning in and also ask your questions there. Today we have gifts for you. So make sure you stay because I'm giving away some valuable gifts in just a little bit. Let me know where in the world you are, where on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Let me know about you right there in the chat. I want to hear all about you. So today we are talking about how giving and receiving are important for us to receive more, giving and receiving. So why is it okay for us to receive money, and why is it essential for us to receive money? How are giving and receiving related? How do they create abundance, giving and receiving? And we're going to talk about some practical steps and tips to integrate this into our business, into our life without withholding abundance and feeling really, really good about it. How does that sound? Please let me know there in the chat. So today I want to first begin by expanding on the law of circulation. Now, perhaps you know to be here today because you got my email, you see my social media, and in my email this week I talked a little bit about the law of circulation, right? And what is the law of circulation? Do you know what the law of circulation is? If you know what that is, I want to see you typing it in there. Let me look and see. I want to hear from you. Let me know who you are and let me know what is the law of circulation as you know it. Now, I want you to know that I believe that the law of circulation goes beyond just money. It is energy, right? It's this idea of giving and receiving money. It's really a philosophy rooted in this concept of energy and the energy flow, right? And with money being a form of that energy, because really that's all that money is, right? Money is energy. So let's discuss a little bit about the cycle of energy. So I want you to imagine, and this is how I put it this week when I shared inside my email, because I remember going to North Carolina and going to this lake or pond. I think it was a lake. It was a lake. And there was this huge cascade of water coming from the top of the mountain down to this lake. And my husband and I were hanging out there, and it was just so beautiful. I took videos, I took images. So I want you to imagine energy as flowing in that way. As a matter of fact, I want you to imagine you being there right now. So, by the way, I want to do something as I do in my live events. I want to set the intention. Okay, because perhaps you joined us today because you wanted to hear something different, or you wanted to hear inspiration, wanted to be inspired, wanted to share, wanted to win something, right? So I want you to align with me to the energy of abundance, of love, and I want us to feel good and set the intention to open up our minds, to be open and receptive, and to release any expectation of ourselves and others in terms of any judgment, and just to be in the flow. Because today, really, we're going to talk about being in the flow. So let's take a few deep breaths. And let's release the busyness of the day because perhaps you had a busy day. I know I did. So let's release the busyness of the day and let's just kind of be here together. And whether you're watching live or on the replay, I invite you to do that, to center yourself and to be present and to open up your ears wide and your heart wide and expand to be open and receptive to receiving. Because right now I'm going to give and I want to invite you to receive. So open up yourself, open up your arms, your heart, your ears, your understanding. And so when we think about that beautiful waterfall that I'm thinking about from North Carolina, right? So I want you to imagine energy flowing like that waterfall, right? And so what happens to that water if at the end of it, it becomes like it's stuck and it's stagnant, right? And it's not moving? What do you think happens to it, right? It might become kind of murky, don't you think? And it might become kind of ugly and it may not serve its purpose. Would you agree with that? And so it is the same thing with us and with our energy. And it is the same thing when we talk about withholding, holding tight, and holding to that energy of money. If we block it, if we are not free with this, if we're not flowing with it, what happens is we're restricting abundance. So the law of circulation really emphasizes the importance of keeping this energy in motion, right? And that's what we want to do when we're manifesting money or anything. It's about this energetic movement that we're feeling. And so we want to have our money flow freely because it will attract more of itself and it will create this cycle of abundance. And that's what giving and receiving are. Giving and receiving are really two coins, two sides rather of the same coin, two sides of the same coin. So many people sometimes focus on receiving, and sometimes we only focus on giving. And I believe that because it is two sides of the same coin, we want to focus on both and think about it circulating because it's the law of circulation. And so we want to give and we want to receive. And we want to set the intention to be good givers and good receivers. Okay. And so keep that in mind, being a good giver and a good receiver. What does that mean to you? Right. And how does that play out in your life? And is there a way that we can become perhaps more mindful of how much we're giving and how much we're receiving? In other words, can we become more mindful that we want to give more and we want to be better at receiving? And some people have a problem with giving and some people have a problem with receiving, right? And I've been in both situations. I've had a problem in giving and I've also had a problem in receiving. And so let me just kind of show how this has shown up in my life to see perhaps if you can relate and it's relatable to you. And by the way, please feel free to share in the chat, how you relate to this. So, for example, have you ever been in a situation where someone could be giving you a compliment and you don't accept it? You're like, no, thank you. You don't have to say anything. Or you do a favor for someone and someone either wants to return the favor or wants to give you money for it or wants to treat you somewhere. And you're like, no, no, no. So you don't receive, right? So we want to work on being good receivers because the more that we practice being good receivers, the more we're going to receive. Equally, sometimes we withhold. How do we withhold? There's many ways that we can withhold. So if you are like me, a speaker and an author, and you have knowledge that you're sharing with the world, right? And you like to just get free things and you don't want to pay for things, then you're also stuck like that murky water we were talking about. So you're not flowing. So you're stopping the flow in your life. And so we don't want to be at either one of those places. We want to be good givers and great receivers. So we want to give and receive. So what we want to do is not focus on one or the other, but rather focus on both giving and receiving because they are interconnected. Remembering that by giving, and by giving, that could be time, resources, support, okay? We create more space for receiving when we give. And so that's the place where we want to be. And, we want to continuously be planting this. So, for example, today, I am giving of my time to sharing, to being with you. And I could share of my time by doing several webinars. I have an upcoming money mindset challenge, and I can give, right? And not everyone there may give back to me, but there might be someone somewhere else that will. So sometimes we give, right? And we receive, and the receiving may not be from the same people we give. And I want us to be more conscientious about that because sometimes, especially if you're like me, a business owner, an entrepreneur, or a content creator, a speaker, an author, a coach, sometimes you may feel like, wow, I did, let's say you do a free challenge or a free webinar. And no one buys, let's just say, okay? Sometimes you may feel like, oh, it was not worth my time, right? But that's not really true because someone took something away, right? You gave it your best, and maybe they'll come back. It's happened to me that people sometimes at that moment, they're not ready, and then they come back to you. And what you're doing is really creating this space. You're opening up the doors, you're opening up the space so that you can receive. So it's like planting seeds. Okay. So we are, I've never really been good at planting, but we are all planting seeds. So we know and we've heard that we want to sow, right? We want to sow before we can reap the harvest. So that's what we're doing when we're giving, right? We're sowing, we're giving. And so sometimes it is in different forms, like I said, time, volunteering, donations. And it is also about us being able to give to other people who give to us. Sometimes I talk about the law of circulation with the law of reciprocity because in the law of reciprocity there's been many studies that as human beings when someone gives us something, we have this inclination, this desire, this wanting to give back, right? And that's very natural, right? And so we want to come from that space of abundance, right? And expansion. And so we want to be aware of that because that could come in different ways. So you can also give in many different ways. And I say it again, like I said about giving a compliment or giving a review or giving a testimonial. Let's say, in the example that I gave, if you ever did a presentation or something and someone didn't buy from you, but perhaps they gave you a testimonial, they gave you a review, right? They shared good points with you. So those are all points of people giving back. And you want to be a good receiver of all of that. So we want to reframe this idea that receiving, right? That receiving has to come in a certain way. We want to become more conscientious, more conscious, more aware that receiving may come in different ways. And so when we receive, we are really allowing prosperity and abundance to flow to us. And, it's the same thing in business, right? So if you ever had a situation where you feel that you're not worthy of receiving or getting paid for your work, right? Um, I want to encourage you to go beyond those thoughts, right? And really work within you. And one of the best ways I know how is by journaling. And that's the method that I created, the FAB money scripting method of manifesting, which F stands for feel, A for act, and B for be. And you want to journal through some of these things, right? That you're experiencing in life, especially if you want to become a more conscious creator. Because journaling is a powerful way for us to tune in to both our subconscious and our conscious mind. Strong believer of that. So by us journaling, we can open up our understanding, our awareness, and even look deeper into what are our beliefs regarding giving and receiving and the value of this exchange, right? And you want to feel good about receiving and asking for someone to pay you what your value is, because this there is value in that exchange of energy. You gave your energy to give a solution, a service, a product to a client. And so it is normal, I'm going to use that term loosely, for you to want to receive, because that's the other side of the coin. So when you give to receive, right? And note that it may not come from that same exchange, okay? And so I want to encourage you to really look at what are the common blocks that may be hindering you, preventing you from charging what you're worth, what you want, what you believe you deserve, you know, and look at what are the feelings that you're feeling when you're going to ask someone to pay you for your product, service, or solution. You know, what is it? Is it guilt? Is it fear of success? What is the belief that may be blocking you, that may be hindering the flow of abundance? In other words, that there is something that is not allowing you to be in the flow. And so there is no circulation happening. So by journaling about this and going deep within, you can really uncover what is truly going on. Why is it that you have a tough time receiving, asking for what you're worthy of? What is the fear behind that? You know, that could be a good journal prompt for you to look and see what is it. Also, you know, in my method, with my method, FAB money scripting, I teach a certain way of journaling, which is affirmatively declaring your inner truth, or what I call your fabulously financially free future self, where you, even at the present moment, if you may not be feeling just yet like your future self, you can kind of close your eyes and imagine yourself, maybe even like pose more confidently, sit up, sit straight, sit or stand, you know, more confidently, and allow yourself to go into that confidence future self that you see yourself almost organically attracting the right clients to your business and them wanting to pay you, and all of this to feel very organic, effortless, and easy. And the more that you visualize, write that, and practice that, I love the word practice, the more that you're going to begin feeling, acting, believing, behaving, and being like that. So, and it all comes because you have been that you are worthy of receiving what you want, what the value of your services are, and you are worthy of asking. You know, for those of you that are more spiritually, religiously aligned, you know that in the Bible it says, ask and you will receive. It's almost like a promise. Ask and you will receive. So we must ask, and we want to become good at asking. And from both us, from not just both, but in every way, spiritually, metaphysically, business wise, we want to become good by practicing and by journaling about this from a very, very practical point of view, you can journal about the questions even that you want to ask when you're asking your clients. Let's say in the instance that, let's say you have a tough time asking for people to pay you or to buy or offering your product, solutions, and service, then even through journaling, as you're seeing into the future, as you're talking to a client about this, that could even help you to become better at it by sort of practicing through journaling. Does that make sense? I hope that helps you because I really want to bring home the idea that we want to be aware of the flow and we want to begin opening up the flow within us first, which is that energetic flow within us. So imagine the universe. Okay, I want you to imagine the universe as a vast ocean of energy. This energy is constantly moving and circulating like tides of currents in the water, right? So the law of circulation suggests that everything in this ocean, including money, needs to keep flowing. I'm going to continue going like this to stay vibrant and abundant. So remember, stagnant water and stagnant energy is like stagnant water, right? It gets stuck and depleted and it gets murky and ugly. So we want to be in that cycle of giving and receiving. And perhaps that could be a good homework for us over the next week to really look at how we're giving, how we're receiving, and kind of journal about that and track that. Like, how are we? Like perhaps that could be a good journal prompt for the next few days until we meet again on Financially Free and Fabulous Friday about how did I practice giving today? And then how did I practice receiving today? Was I a good giver today? Was I a good receiver? I think those are good questions, right? That could be our homework. So I'm going to invite you and encourage you to practice that. And I'm going to do the same. I always like to review my show after I do it. I'm going to practice that. And so we are going to be looking at a healthy flow of energy. And a healthy flow of energy involves both giving and receiving. Because if we only give and never receive, we deplete our own resources. Conversely, if we only receive and never give, the flow becomes stagnant. So remember, the law of circulation encourages a balanced approach, right? By giving freely of our time, perhaps talent, money, resources, solution, we create more money for abundance to flow back to us. And I said the during the past challenge, I talked about let's play a game. When we pay something, we can say we're happy because we know, number one, we're grateful that we're able to pay, and as we're paying, we're also expecting to receive that or more than what we paid, right? And let's continue playing that little game that we're giving and paying. We're grateful for that. And we're going to be receiving that or more of what we paid for, right? And so we begin opening up ourselves to infinite possibilities and we break free from the blocks. We shift our perspective on money and we look at it all as an exchange of energy. And we go into it with this energy of love, energy of abundance, and with this idea that is circulating, and with this idea that it may come from other people, resources, expected and unexpected, right? And so we begin embracing, receiving, and giving with an attitude of gratitude. And the more that we do that, the more that we're in that flow, and the more that we experience abundance. And abundance comes in many ways. It comes back in joy and smiles and laughter, in health, in love, in friends and loved ones, and so many different opportunities that may come to you. So we want to focus on that expansion, on being in that flow. Whether we see it right away, we want to be having faith that it is happening, even when we don't see it. with our human eyes. We've talked about money manifesting being a journey, not a destination. And we've spoken about your manifestation. What you intended to manifest has already manifested, and we sometimes don't see it with our human eyes. But when we begin working on our faith and our spirituality and other aspects, then we start seeing, and our vision becomes clear, and then we see our manifestation, and we think, wow, it happened suddenly. But no, perhaps it did, right? Because we just became aware of it, and perhaps it didn't, because maybe we had to do some preparation. The idea today is for us to always be thinking giving and receiving. We want to give and receive equally, you know, if we can, consciously, because so many times we are receiving, right? And sometimes we can't give the same, and that's awesome. And sometimes we're giving and giving, right? And we're not receiving, and that's okay. Either way, we're going to have faith. And we're going to feel that even though we may not see it, we know that that's circulating, and we know that we're in the flow. And so we feel that we're in that momentum of manifesting at every moment. So, what that means is whether or not we see it, we know that we are in that right space because our attitudes, our energy, our emotions, our feelings are in the right spot. Our hearts are in the right spot, right? So I want to hear from you. I want to know your thoughts about the law of circulation, about giving and receiving. Where are you as it pertains to this? Do you feel that you are more of a giver or a receiver? Are you aware of how much you give or how much you receive? And are you open and receptive to both giving and receiving? Do you feel that you are experiencing the absolute flow of life? And are you understanding the energy of both? Let me know in the chat. I'm going to check in the chat because I do have some gifts, and I want to go ahead and give some gifts today. So I want to hear from you in the chat because I'm going to give away a ticket to our upcoming Flip the Script from Frustrated to Financially Free 5-day money mindset challenge. It begins next Monday, no, not next Monday, into Monday, the 25th of March. And I want to encourage all of you to check it out by visiting moneymanifestingchallenge.com. Let me go ahead and put that here. Let me go ahead and put the caption here for you to see it. And then I'm going to ask, actually, I'm going to share a couple of things. So I'm waiting for you to reply in the chat. That way I can give you a ticket to attend for free the challenge. And just so that you know, the moneymanifestingwomen.com is our free community. You are invited, if you are a female, to join our moneymanifestingwomen.com community now for free. It's right on Facebook. And I want to just let you know that our upcoming Flip the Script from fearful and frustrated to financially free, it's not a free challenge because of what I just explained today, right? Which is the law of circulation, giving and receiving. And so, being true to my understanding and my teachings, I encourage you to charge what you want and what you are worthy of, and also to receive and be open and receptive and have faith that when you do charge and people do come and work with you, they're the right and perfect people, independent of whether it's one or 10 or 15 or 100 or 1,000 people, right? So we want to have that faith, and we want to be okay because we are becoming more and more aware that it's all about the energy that we put into things. And believe me, that is a lesson, that is a lifelong lesson. Like I said, it's a journey, right? So we continue to learn that by practicing more and more. So I want to give away a ticket. And so the moneymanifestingchallenge.com is where you want to go ahead and register for our upcoming challenge, which we're going to be doing a challenge slightly different from the one I did about 2 or 3 weeks ago. because this one is all about beliefs. That's why today we talked a little bit about understanding the law of circulation so that our belief about not being worthy of accepting payment, of receiving, right? We release it, we let it go. We know that everything is in perfect order. As we're giving, we're receiving. As we're receiving, we're giving. And feel that that's part of what's supposed to happen for things to move and circulate. And so I want to make sure that you feel good about that. Now, I want to invite you to go to moneymanifestingchallenge.com, and I'm going to go ahead and share it right here, giving you more time to put an share in the chat so that I can run today the giveaway that I have. I have a giveaway for you. And right now, if you're there, you're going to be the winner. And so all you have to do is write in there your name. Where are you tuning in from? That's all you have to do. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And I'm going to give away one of these tickets. So I want to hear from you. Let's see. Let's see. Not seeing your name. Okay, so let me just share with you. So this is when you go to moneymanifestingchallenge.com, you land here, flip the script from frustrated and I added fearful to financially free, our 5-day money mindset challenge. And the topics may change as spirit and source within guides me on what to speak. And this is an idea of what we're going to be speaking about. So, who is this for? This is for fabulous women entrepreneurs or those of you that have an entrepreneurial spirit. So, if you dream of a life of cash flow and abundance and of natural circulation, giving and receiving, then this is for you. This is for you to ditch the scarcity mindset and open up to the infinite possibilities that are available for you, right? So that you know that it is okay for you to receive from expected and unexpected sources and people and places, right? And so this is for you if you are tired of worrying about where's your next client, where's your next paycheck, where is your next check, where is the next big sale coming from. You dream of financial freedom, more fun. Who doesn't like more fun? Yes, we all like fun, right? So if you like to have fun, believe me, I like to have fun and I like to have fun in our challenges. So I invite you to come and have some fun with us. And if you're committed and open to learning more about how to expand your money manifesting consciousness, your abundance consciousness, your wealth consciousness, whatever you feel comfortable calling it, I like to call it financial freedom, because to me, financial freedom is a state of mind. And I believe I can tap into that every day. So by participating in this 5-day challenge, you are going to learn how to stop limiting beliefs from holding you back, how to unlock the power of flip the script. And what I mean by that, okay? We're going to look at powerful strategies to shift that mindset. And then you're going to discover this easy money manifesting method that I call the FAB money scripting method of manifesting. So, what you want to do, go to moneymanifestingchallenge.com. And as you can see, we do the training and we have the community. You're going to meet wonderful women. And I have to add all the testimonials from the women who just did our challenge 3 weeks now, and just how much fun they had, and also how much they loved the energy that we created together. So, on day one, right now, the intention is for us to speak about bye bye scarcity mindset and hello and welcome abundance. So, we want to be in that welcoming, opening up our minds, our hearts, and our hands to receive more abundance. Day two, from fear to fierce. How many of you would like to go from fear to fierce, being fierce? Day number three, manifesting magic. And I always say manifesting feels like magic. It isn't magic, but it feels magical. And we're going to talk more about that. On day 4, we're going to talk about the roadmap to riches, or perhaps I'll change that. It's a financial freedom. I was trying to put it so it sounds more alluring and attractive. And we're going to talk about that, designing your personalized path to financial freedom. And then on day number 5, we're going to talk about flipping the script and declaring your financial independence. And then we always have a bonus day to celebrate you, to hear all about you, to party on. Because not only because you finished the challenge, but also because we should all celebrate each other and have fun at it. So, I am Evie Diaz. I am your money manifesting maestra. This is happening on Monday, March 25th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And you are welcome to join us by going to moneymanifestingchallenge.com right here below. And I want to hear from you. So please make sure that you send me a message if you like, as well as please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, as well as subscribe to our emails. Send me a direct message me down below this video. Let me hear from you because I want to connect with you. Let me know how I may help you, support you, inspire you, empower you, how we may collaborate. Let me know all about you. I want to hear from you. So I want to thank you for joining today. I want to invite you to still put in the chat there, moneymanifestingchallenge.com. If you want, give us your name, and perhaps you will be the winner today. Before I go, one last time, because I have a a game here where I am giving away tickets to our money manifesting challenge. So I want to see who's going to get a ticket. Let's see. Did anybody write in the chat? I'm looking at the chat here. I'm looking to see who is the winner. You could be a winner by just typing in the chat. If you want, go ahead and send me a direct message. If you're bashful and you didn't want to type anything in the chat, I invite you to join me on Friday. Friday, we're going to have our fabulously financially free Friday show, and we'll do another ticket winner. Also, I want to remind you that tomorrow night we have a women's networking event. So if you like to join us, I'm going to go ahead and get that link from my second computer here. I'm going to put a link right here in the chat for you. And if you like to join us, make sure that you visit that link and join us tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for a free networking event. It is entrepreneurial women, heart center, spiritual entrepreneurial women getting together to meet each other, connect with each other, tell each other what we're all about, elevate each other, and create an energy of abundance together. So please make sure to check that out too. So I hope to see you inside our moneymanifestingwomen.com community, as well as inside our Money Manifesting Challenge, which begins Monday, March 25th. I want to thank you. I want to say thank you so much for being with me. I see you manifesting your intentions. I know that your order is on its way. You ordered and it's coming. I thank you for your time. I thank you for watching. I thank you for connecting with me. And hopefully I'll see you again real soon. Bye for now.